I was talking to a Coke rep here the other day at the pub, representative of the Coca-Cola company.
Oh, yeah.
Gee, he was fat. No, he wasn't fat. He was skinny. Tell you what, though, I did an ad for Pizza Hut once. I've never seen a fatter person. As you know, when you do a television ad.
On the ad or the guy?
No, when you do a television ad, I mean, I don't want to talk shop here, but they always have a representative of the product. So a guy who works for, if you're doing a Pepsi ad, a guy who works for Pepsi.
Yep.
I was doing a Pizza Hut ad. This was years ago. And there was a guy who worked for Pizza Hut. And man, I've never seen a fatter person. Would you employ a really fat guy to represent Pizza Hut?
Well, these days you would have to. Because you can't be fattest. But you would think that the message that you're getting straight away, because this is horrible, when I go, I might get a donut.
And you see the fat guy.
If the guy in front of me is a bit fat, and I go, I'm not having.
Yeah, I'm not having a donut. I'm not having a donut. Anyway, the Coke guy was saying, you know how I love Diet Coke. I drink Diet Coke.
Yeah.
And I don't like Coke Zero or sugar-free.
But why do you like Diet Coke?
I like the taste of it. It's like a soda-y water.
Would you say you're addicted?
Yeah, definitely addicted.
How many? One a day?
One or two a day. Yeah. Anyway, it's not good. As you pointed out once, black water can't be good.
It is black water.
It's black water.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've got one right there. Look, it's sitting up there waiting for me.
Oh, so that's your little treat.
I'll be having that.
So you won't. We're at the pub. You won't get the behind the counter Coke.
I don't mind the behind the counter Coke, but here it's post mix. I like McDonald's post mix Diet Coke, but that's not Diet Coke. It'll be Coke Zero or sugar free.
Could you do a blind tasting?
Oh, absolutely.
And you would pick it?
Absolutely.
So that would be one of your expertise
skills.
You should work for Coca-Cola. If Coca-Cola's listening, they should bring you in.
Well, as I've always said, I've drunk Diet Coke for 30 years and I'm still fat, so it doesn't work, obviously.
Anyway, so what were we going to say about the fat guy?
Paris Hilton says only fat people drink Diet Coke, and it's true. Only fat people drink. Anyway, so I was talking to the rep, and he's very much down on Diet Coke. He's like, Diet Coke? Oh, Jesus. No, I drink, Coke no sugar. Heaps better. Heaps better.
A bit patronising.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going, and I've noticed, you can't get Diet Coke on planes anymore. Okay, you can't get it. If you go to a blue-collar shop in, an industrial area where there's just tradies coming in, they don't sell Diet Coke anymore. They just sell sugar-free and Pepsi and stuff. So I said to the guy, are you phasing out Diet Coke?
Big question.
And he's like, well, we will eventually when the main consumers,
vote with their
disappear.
Feet. Well, hang on. Who are they?
Well, who do you reckon are the main consumers of Diet Coke? Have a guess. Not fat people.
No,
not fat people.
No, the main consumers.
Main consumers of Diet Coke.
Kids.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Kids don't drink Diet Coke.
Okay. Who then?
Old women. He goes, it's old women drink Diet Coke.
Do they really?
Yes.
I thought they would have drunk the... Anyway, okay.
He goes, old women.
What's old, though?
Well, he was a young guy. He goes, women over 40. He goes, and when they die out, we'll be getting rid of it. I said, do you call me an old woman? It's just, yeah.
Fatty? Did you call him fatty?
Fat, fatso. Anyway, there we go.
So that's a bit of inside information.
Inside information.
So women. If you want to keep Diet Coke, you've got to vote with your feet.
Come on, kids, get into it.
Don't you read the label, though? Don't you look down the side of the label?
A lot of chemicals and stuff.
And is it true that if you drop a coin in there, that it'll clean the coin?
No, that's an urban myth. That's rubbish. But if you put a Mentos in, it does explode. It's incredible. Have you seen that when they put Mentos in the top of Diet Cokes or Letterman and stuff? Oh, yeah, they did all these stunts with it. There's some kind of chemical reaction. It's amazing.
Because I know there are times when you go, the only thing that I want is Coca-Cola, and it's usually if I'm feeling a bit nauseous.
Yeah, right.
But sometimes, here's a bit of showbiz. You want a bit of showbiz?
Love show business.
What I drink when I do have you been paying attention? What do you reckon I drink?
Oh, what's in your little thing?
I have it below the thing. I have, and I forget what it's called.
Oh, God, it's not wine and soda.
Yeah, it's wine and Coke.
Oh, it's wine and Coke?
Yeah.
Is there a word for that?
Yes, Spanish word, and I don't know what it is.
El crapo? El shit house?
Well, no, I drink the wine to give me that little bit of alcohol.
Loosen up.
Yeah, and then you got the caffeine to give you a zhuzh, so you're loosened up with a bit of energy. Do you want me to find out while the
music's playing,
I will find you the name of it. And the reason they do it in, I'm sure it's Spain, is because it makes cheap wine go further.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but I was in front of a friend of mine who was a wine connoisseur, when I was ordering my wine with Coca-Cola in it, and I felt a bit embarrassed.
Yeah, it is a bit embarrassing. But remember you went through that stage where you were having fizzy wine? Remember you having fizzy wine? like Portello or something.
Well,
Frutello.
see again. I mean, don't knock it until you try it.
I love fizzy drinks. So
Yeah, so I just think, so try if you've got a bit of cheap wine, chuck some Coke in it. Put a bit of... I know people that put ice in their wine because it makes it chill.
Yeah, that's not a problem with that.
Yeah.
I know people that buy cask wine and drink it in their car and don't tell their wives. Whatever.
I must admit, when the cask wine, when you lean back and you pull the knob on it,
Yes.
pull the thing back, it comes out in a beautiful arc.
Yes.
So you can just sort of hold the bag up.
Do you remember going over to a friend's house in the 70s and the 80s and there'd always a mum with the cask going on the kitchen
They had
bench?
the cask. My dad had one of those. I used to have a bottle in a metal, and you could just put your glass underneath it and would dispense the wine into the glass. And Dad used to get pretty shit face, and then he'd fall in front of the television. And I remember one night he was off shit face, and we connected fishing wire to all the little light pieces of furniture, and then just gently woke him up, and we made the furniture walk to us.
That's a great stunt. Oh, God.
Anyway, I'm not very good at the phone.
Okay, so...
play the music.
Here's the music. All right.
It is legit.
Okay.
Welcome to Somehow Related. Now please welcome your hosts Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
Well, welcome to our podcast, Somehow Related, and you've got what is it called? Wine and
It's
Coke.
called Calamucho.
Calamucho.
Calamucho, which is red wine and Coca-Cola in equal parts.
Oh.
It dates back to the 1920s in Spain, but was relatively uncommon as Coca-Cola was not manufactured in the country at that time. So that's weird. Anyway, that's weird. So it is the thing, and it is kind of cool. So you just watch, my friend, my cynical friend.
I'm going to take off the old Calamucho.
Calamucho. What do you want to drink? I'll have 2 beers, some white wine, and 1 Calamucho.
Yeah,
I reckon I could bring a Calamucho in a bottle and serve it like those fizzy popular drinks. It's got a little bit of Coke. Trust me. The Coca-Cola is listening right now.
It's going to take off.
It's going to take off. Anyway, why are we here again?
We've got to get some topics and work out how they're related. That's how it works.
Not just for my fascinating facts about alcohol, which I know.
Calamucho.
I met someone the other day, because I can't spell the word alcohol.
Alcohol.
And I met another friend of mine who's a psychologist, and she said she couldn't spell the word success. She goes, I can never remember. It's got 1 C or 2. I'm going...
It's got 2 C's and 2 S's, hasn't it?
Yeah. But she always... It's interesting. That's Freudian, isn't it?
Yeah, that's weird.
Do you ever make Freudian slips?
No, cockhead. I mean, sorry.
Touche. That is why.
That's why I'm one of the best in the business.
That is why you get the big dollars.
Mate, I was doing the Upper Ferntree Gully Footy Club last night.
No. Yeah, and?
Yeah, and there were these... There was Barry Michael was speaking, so he's a former boxer.
Oh, yeah, I know Barry.
Yeah, he's a nice
I know him
guy.
well. He's a lovely guy. Good fighter.
Yeah, well, great guy. And but there were these other guys like just on the table below talking, and that one had tattoos on his head, another one, and I'm like, what's going on with those guys? This is what I'm on stage. What's going on with those guys? And some guy, you're like, you weren't here earlier. I'm like, what happened earlier? He goes, they're champion boxers, and they both got up.
Oh.
And they went to walk out. I'm like, see you guys. They're both, God, they were big units.
Yeah.
And I actually hid behind the podium. I crashed down behind the podium.
Were they being
funny.
Intimidating toward you?
Well, initially they were, then they started laughing. But, those guys, when they just look at you and don't smile, you think, oh, no, I'm in trouble here.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I don't know who they were, but they look like big units.
You're a big unit.
Oh, not
No,
like
not
those
you're
blokes.
not. I'm not saying you're a big unit, but that's what you say to
big.
them. Yeah. No, you know what I say to them? Geez, look at you. It's like looking in a mirror for me.
That's good.
Yeah.
You should have said that. I said, are they going to wait downstairs and bash me?
Yeah, you got to watch out because sometimes they can take themselves seriously and they,
Oh, yeah. And
you don't wanna, you got to know
they'll
your
walk
mark.
towards the stage and there's no security. It's just you.
Yeah. But they were friends of Barry Michaels.
They must have been, yeah.
Well, they came to see Barry Miracle talk.
No, I think they spoke as well. I don't know what was going on.
They spoke as well.
I don't know what was going on, to be honest. They were getting photos and stuff. I don't know what's going on.
Anyway, who's Dave O'Neill? You closed the night, did you?
And then Richo was on, the Richmond footballer, Matthew Richardson. He's a commentator on Channel 7.
I just drove.
He's a lovely
just
guy.
Quite honest. I just drove past the Richmond football ground.
Yeah, it's
on the way
Pun
here.
Road. Yeah.
Now, if you drove, it's like it's set up in a movie. If you drove past the Richmond football ground and the team were training,
Yeah.
who would you think walked past the fence when I?
Dusty.
Yes,
You saw Dusty?
Dusty just walking over to pick up his footy and continue training. I went, oh, there's a moment.
Oh, that's cool.
There's Dusty, and there was one bloke there with a phone just taking his photograph. But what was weird about it? It was because it was behind a fence, like a cyclone fence. It was like he was a caged wild animal.
Yeah, he looks like a beast, doesn't he, Dusty Martin?
They should put signs up, no feeding the footballers or something like that, you know. Anyway, so we're here.
I love him when he won the grand final at the MCG. He just left his car parked in the MCG for 3 months.
3 months.
Oh, it was some incredible time. It was 3 months, I reckon. Yeah.
Because they'd finished, they didn't have to come back.
He partied on and just went, oh, I'll leave my car there.
God.
All right, enough footy talk. Sam,
Yes, Sam will give us.
what are the topics? What are they, Sam?
Crying babies and sumo wrestlers.
Good Lord. Well, I mean,
That is a ripper.
sumo wrestlers, good on you, Sam. Sumo wrestlers look like babies, don't they? Look a bit like a baby.
I've never thought of it like that.
Yeah, they look like babies.
Like big babies.
Yeah, big
Is
babies.
that something you'd say to them? Oh, you big baby.
Ooh,
Before you
careful.
start before you start the fight. Just to get, give them a bit of lip.
Are you into wrestling? I was never into wrestling. You know, you always got mates who. Well, let's just.
A lot of our respected mates love the
we
theatre
won't
of
say
the
him.
make-believe.
We won't name him. We'll call him Sam Pang. He's got like wrestling dolls, or as he calls them, figurines.
Yeah, I mean, just quietly, grow up.
Yeah, come on, mate.
Seriously, I mean, it's all make-believe and it's all, goodies and baddies and stuff. I did used to watch World Championship Wrestling when I was a kid. Now, the older members...
Yeah, the Festival Hall one.
Can you do the theme? Sing it.
No, you know it.
Yeah, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, tss, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, pff, dum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. It used to be on Sundays at about 12 o'clock.
And what were the names of the wrestlers again? There were some famous
Brute
ones.
Bernard and
the
flying something
The
flying.
Greek guy.
Mario Milano.
Mario Milano.
Yeah. There are people out there reeling them off now. I can't do them all, but
That was big, wasn't it?
it was huge.
Yeah.
A friend of mine used to be a cameraman on there. Which
wow.
Jack Little was the.
That's
right. Wow. Anyway, let's not talk about that because that is going way
It doesn't
beyond.
matter. And then we had the American wrestling, which was again guys our age like Hulk Hogan and
Big,
WWE.
you know what it
whatever it's
is?
called.
In a way, it's like pantomime theatre, but violent.
Oh, James Young, who's a radio guy, and over the years, he went to see one in Las Vegas, and he said he was sitting in the front row, and he could hear them talking to each other.
Yeah.
They just throw me over my back, and then you grab me leg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Grab my leg, do the old, the old 1-2, and
He said it really,
and they used to put little razor blades in their mouth so they could, when they got hit a certain way, they could just push the razor blade into their lip, and then they could bleed from the mouth. Or
all those
they
tricks.
would cut their foreheads. They could, all the tricks.
Have you seen that movie, The Wrestler?
Great film. Oh, did he win an award for that?
He should have.
What was his name? Oh no.
We can get Sam. No, give me a moment. I'm going to get it.
Okay,
I'm confident I'm going to get it.
Maybe I'll
The
do
wrestler.
it.
The wrestler. It just reminded me of old comedians because remember they had that thing where you could go to like a scout hall and meet all the old wrestlers and they were all damaged.
Yeah.
And I love that scene where you thought he was going to do a wrestling match, but he was actually working behind the deli when he was getting ready and walking through those corridors.
Yep.
Mickey Rourke.
Oh, how did you do that?
Done it. He's great. He was great in that movie.
And he's that craggy, broken down
look, the X and everything. And
is he doing? How is he doing now? And he could actually. He was had some professional fights, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing in the ring.
Great movie.
Sad
movie though.
Really sad. Really sad. And that's the reality of that world when the glory and the because two men walk in, one winner walks out. There's always a winner and a loser. That's why we are drawn to it. Okay, so sumo wrestling. Japanese would be well. It's so
must be very old.
Like must be
500 years, 1,000 years.
Yeah, I reckon absolutely. And it would be something to do? Would it be religious or some sort of? It's very ceremonial, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do they wear? They wear.
Nappies. It looks like undies. No, it's like a loincloth.
It's like a loincloth.
Yeah.
It's like a really big G-string
Yeah.
with a bit around the front.
Yeah. I remember reading an article about how there was bullying in the sumo wrestling world. Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew?
Well, there's no weight divisions.
Are there no weight divisions?
No. So I think they started out being
That's interesting.
being just fighting. Then they've gone, if I get a bit fatter, I'll be able to throw that bloke over a bit easier. So the fatter you get, the better you get, because they all go to a camp, and then when they're out in the public, they have to be very respectful as they want. They can't drive cars.
They can't drive cars.
It's kind of like they're
like monks.
Yeah,
kind of.
So I think when they sit on public transport, they have to treat people.
But they don't wear the loincloth on public transport. They wear like a dressing gown, or they have an outfit, going out outfit.
I reckon they'd have a dressing gown on, but if the conductor came round, they can go, hey, have a look at this. I'm
Do
real
they
deal.
have groupies, and they must have
Probably.
fans. And
They must have
groupies.
fans. They must have. Look at the guys who turned up to see Barry Michael. They probably have, sumo fans.
There would be fans.
And how does it work? They both go. They both in a circle, and they sit down, don't they? And they throw something around in the air.
I've only ever
Is it
seen it
salt
on
or
a movie.
something?
Oh yes,
Or is it something like that?
you seem to be a bit of an expert. I've only seen it in movies, I reckon. And
Yeah, I know that they have to have everything on touching the ground before they start.
oh wow,
So they have both hands, both feet, and their penis. No, sorry, I'm sorry.
I wonder if there's a lot of
Sorry.
drugs in that world.
No, really?
A lot of donuts. I mean, how do they get that?
Sorry,
fat?
a lot of drugs are a lot
A lot of
of.
donuts. How do they get that fat?
How do they get that fat? I mean, you've got to ask the question.
They must. I don't know.
I mean, because they're in a camp, I wonder what they're sitting down at night to have. I mean, every night, they'd have dessert every night.
So it's like they're like on a sort of superhero. Yeah, dessert. Oh, definitely. Who's having seconds of desserts?
Yeah,
guys?
I mean, I reckon they'll be putting themselves down for three sticky day
The
puddings.
chocolate ripple cake,
Yeah.
Pav.
Yeah. I reckon they get a cake each.
I reckon ice cream flavors.
Yep. And
I've been to Japan. I can't remember the desserts in Japan, but
they're
were
not
desserts.
renowned, are they?
No, they're not renowned.
Yeah, I went to a Japanese restaurant the other night, and we had. It's always ice cream. I shouldn't say that. I'm sure there are a lot of lovely desserts. What else can we say about them? They wear. Don't they do their hair in a special way?
Yeah, they got like a man bun. They got a little man bun thing
top
going
nut
on.
or something.
I think that's where
top
man
nut.
buns may have come from. At least one of the. Definitely, they were the first people sort of doing that kind of look. I reckon.
I think you're right. And then it came. It was in here for a while.
It
with
went from
footballers.
sumo wrestlers to AFL footballers. Yeah,
And it's on top, isn't it?
yeah.
I
My
reckon-
kids do them now. My sons do them. They do them. It's always a shameful day when you see your son walk out with a man bun.
And what did you do? You get that man.
Get that thing off your head.
Come here.
You ain't no son of mine. Well, it's funny because, I remember my brother Trev had long hair in the 70s and the early 80s, and Mum used to argue with him as Mum would say, his hair would be falling into his cornflakes at breakfast.
Yep.
Get your hair cut, Trevor. No, I'm not getting my hair cut. Get your hair cut. Looks disgusting. And I just think, I'm not going through that again I was there.
So when he had the man bun, just let him go.
Yeah, it looks good. It
Well,
actually
yeah,
looks
what does
good
it
on
matter?
him.
Yeah.
Looks good on him.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little fountain of hair. Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I don't know how they do it. My daughter's very good at doing braids and stuff. Maybe she helps them. She does all that sort of German,
Oh,
braiding.
that's
kind
a
of
real
thing.
career decision there. Or maybe she should do that for her.
She'd be working in the Sound of Music, I don't know, shop.
So anyway, they're in the ring, and there's no ropes or anything.
Yeah, it's sort of like a pit, isn't it? Or
is it-
is it a pit? No, anyway.
It's circular,
So how
and then it's marked circular.
okay.
And then if you and I are wrestling, I'm just trying to push you out of the ring.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So they don't hold each other down, or
Oh, they wrestle, but they're
Yeah.
just trying to get energy to get position so I can punch you out of the ring.
Oh, okay.
Push you out of the ring.
In the
Punch-
ring? What's going on?
Look out. Ring jokes. Look out.
Ring.
Warning.
Well, I find it a very bizarre sport.
Well, it's I think it's very respected. It's got huge
God.
tradition in Japan.
Sure.
Never so you would wonder whether or not would there be a sumo wrestling club in Australia? Would there be? You have to wonder.
You'd wonder. I mean, we've got darts.
Well, very similar. Yeah. What would you? Because if you were a sumo wrestler, I guess at some point you retire, or you once a sumo wrestler, always a sumo wrestler.
Maybe I wonder if you're like a legend, like an old AFL player. I wonder if it's like, do they go and do like last night? Do they go and do gigs and
sumo nights where they tell stories?
We've got Kenny, who was a 12-time legend champion. Get up here, Kenny.
Yep. Take your time, Kenny. I know you're a big bloke.
Well,
I've got 2 chairs for you to sit
who
on.
remembers my fight back in 1985? Yeah, remember that one?
Yeah, you slam dunked him, and
they're signing autographs, selling a bit of memorabilia. I've got the actual loincloth that I wore. God.
Jeez.
What if they do that? What if they do a circuit of... Because that's what old sports people do here in Australia.
Do a circuit?
Well, if they're inclined to public speaking, they get on the circuit.
I wonder if their mums make their loincloths, or they make them. You go to a sumo shop. What if there would be a
sumo shop, absolutely.
And they'd have
like a ballet dance shop we have here.
Because they don't wear anything on their feet, do they?
No,
I don't think so. And they have the top knot, and then they have the big
loincloth.
The big loincloth, which is a lot showing around the back end.
Oh,
and you wouldn't make fun of them.
No way.
If there are any sumos listening, total respect.
Respect for you guys.
Yeah.
Let's talk about crying babies. Crying babies. Crying babies.
You're an expert.
Yeah.
Isn't it? How many crying? It's one of 3 or 4 things, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Crying baby. It's hungry, tired, cold. Don't.
Sometimes they just cry, and you're like, have they been bitten by a spider, or what's going on?
This comes randomly.
They just start crying. And
you go over them with a cigarette in your mouth and a beer in the other, and you go, "What's wrong?"
You got to pick them up, rock. I mean, kids. Some kids are different. Well, that second child, she loved to be rocked.
Now, what is that? Why is rocking? But rocking feels good for anybody.
I think so. It puts them to sleep.
It's contentment, isn't it?
Definitely the oldest one used to get in the bed.
Again,
that stopped because he's 19 now. It's a bit awkward. And so there's different. There's nothing like a crying baby. When you hear it, I heard one the other day. Where was I? I heard a crying. It is funny as a performer when you hear and you're on stage and you hear a crying baby. People occasionally bring babies to gigs and you hear that.
But isn't it at certain times?
You know what I say? You know what I say?
What?
Is that a baby? Yeah. Oh, hang on a minute. It's not mine, is it? Hey? This is some kind of intervention, is it? Hey?
I remember Mark Neal had one in one of his crowds, and the baby started crying. He goes, "Babies, I'd like mine well done." And then he held the baby up, and he had dark skin.
Oh, my God.
He's just like, my God.
Mark Neal. Funny guy.
What about colic?
Yeah, wind
wind.
Anything like that. They often blame teething. As teething, the teeth are coming through. Yeah, so there's some things that they're just not in control of.
And I remember back in the day, you could give them a thing called Phenergan.
Yeah.
And you can't do that anymore, can you?
No, that's still around.
No, it's not around. You can't get it. No.
Could give it to a baby on a plane. But it can have a different reaction. They can fire right up.
Have you had Phenergan?
No.
Oh, my God.
It's good.
I had some the other night. I had half a tablet.
Why?
Because I had a nasal thing going on. So and I slept for, that's a knockout drug. No wonder you can't give it to kids.
Yeah. Phenergan. Crying babies. Yeah, first the thing you do is check their nappy, then pick them up. Oh, it's so long ago now. Yeah. I think you put it all out of your memory because it's so traumatic.
But surely you could pick the tone of a cry, couldn't you? Or is it just on off?
Some people can.
Yeah.
Like a cat's meow. You know, cat's meows were... we should be doing cat's meows and crying babies. Cat's meows were developed by cats to mimic crying babies.
Really?
Yeah, because cats did it because they thought humans will react to it.
This is somehow related for nothing. You've given them a free one. You get your money's worth on this show.
I don't know how they work that out. I mean, how do you get inside a cat's brain to work that out? But I do know that cats mainly meow to humans. They don't meow to each other. I've noticed that with my cats. Yeah, they do that one.
Yeah, but they don't go, "Hi, here you go."
No, they don't. They do it to humans, though.
But what a lion, it's based on not based on.
Well, they're all part of the same family.
Yeah.
Crying babies, it is. it's quite distressing when you hear a crying
Isn't
baby.
there a thing called control crying?
Oh, yeah. So,
That's where you let them cry.
yeah, we didn't do that. We did,
We would
There was
go
always
down the
different-
shops while they're crying.
yeah, there's always different arguments in the mothers group about control crying where you shut the door and let them cry. And then there's attachment parenting where you if they're crying, you pick them up and hug onto them and put them in the bed with you and stuff.
Yeah, because
We were more that kind of...
Because is it a power thing with the child sometimes? As in, it realizes it can get attention if they play the crying card.
They say you can train the babies and stuff, but I don't know. I mean, whatever works for you is the thing that...
Yeah, that's right. Because
That's
you
what
have
I
to find
say.
out the parent that you are.
Whatever
Yeah.
works for you. I
Yeah.
mean, I remember talking very
Turn the
early
TV
on,
up. That works for me.
as a man, not my problem.
Yeah.
I'm going to play golf. I remember talking about on air about how we would get the baby in our bed, and stop him crying. And he's on air. Mate, that's a disgrace getting babies in the bed. You cannot do that. They'll suffocate. But you're not going to roll on a baby. You don't roll on a cat. You know what I mean?
You'll
And so
know.
all these women rang up and had a crack at him. Like, as one woman pointed out, how do you think the majority of the world sleep with their babies?
Yeah.
How do you think they're doing in Africa?
But aren't dogs and cats known to sometimes jump up into a cot and sleep on the... Or is that just purely coincidence?
that
They're
may
not
have-
trying to kill them. You reckon?
That may have happened.
But it's
And
not a
look,
cat not a murderer cat.
Well, cats do get jealous of babies. They've been the focus.
But then
and-
again, if the baby's warm, they might go and sit on the baby just because the baby's warm.
I mean, the only way you can, roll and fall asleep on a baby is if you're really drunk or really fat, apparently. And you don't know there's a, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you don't know there's a baby there.
You'd have to know. I mean, I mean, if I find something in it, like a grain of sand in the bed, I know that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, you're going to fall asleep on.
yeah.
Then again, sometimes you can, I don't know.
Would have happened, but
So, what are the remedies for crying baby? Dummy?
dummy. Yeah, we never pacifier, as they say in America. We never had dummies. I can't
Rocking?
remember why. Rocking,
Singing? What was your... What
singing.
Was,
Oh yeah, I used to sing all the time.
yeah.
I love singing, so I would sing, but I would change the words.
Yeah.
I would go, Postman Pat and his black and white cat. And we'd have baby monitors. We were big on baby monitors.
Yeah, of course you were.
Oh my God, is the baby waking up? What's happening with the baby? And it used to have the same frequency as taxis. So occasionally you'd hear, taxi to the city, 4 people. Oh my God.
The baby's talking in tongues.
Yeah, the babies. I used to say the baby's speaking in Somali. Anyway, and I used to sing to the kids, but I used to change just to amuse myself. I would change the words to popular TV themes. So,
Oh, that's good.
yeah, Postman Pat was Postman Pat and his black and white cat. He drinks all through the morning. The mail is too daunting. He puts a machine gun in his van. Doot, 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 Postman Pat, rat-a-tat-tat, splat, splat, splat. Anyway,
That's good.
Yeah.
You should have a show later around about 6 o'clock at night.
or I just sing to the kids.
Well, but you do the
I do that one versions for adults to amuse them.
Yeah,
Bob the Builder, can he fix it? If you pay cash, yes, he can.
because I do a broken version of Twinkle Twinkle.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I go, Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Yo, what's up, man? Where's the twinkling?
I still remember when I was on a plane or on a bus or a train, and I started, and I used to sing Twinkle Twinkle a lot, or maybe it was Incy Wincy Spider. Incy Wincy Spider went up, and there was a woman. No, there was a woman with her baby, and she started singing to her toddler or baby, and my son looked over and went, "What the fuck? That's our song."
That's funny.
That woman's singing.
That's great.
They're looking around like, "What the hell?
Ah, how dare they?
How dare they sing Incy Wincy Spider?"
That's funny.
Because it's so out of context. They're like,
Yeah.
"Why is that woman singing the
That's
song that
ano-
we sing?" Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So he probably thought, like with comedy, you just made it up on the
You
spot,
made it
maybe.
up. What the-
Yeah. No, I
the
did
hell?
that. I did that for the other kids as well. In fact, people around the world do that song. I don't want to break your heart, but unfortunately,
Unfortunately, Incy Wincy Spider.
yeah. I hate you, Dad.
Anyway, that's enough on crying babies. We've got enough on crying babies.
We've done crying babies. We've done sumo. So it is now time.
For some thinking music.
Why don't we just have a crying baby?
Oh, no, you don't need that. I don't need
I'd like to hear
babies.
that. Do you reckon babies cry in the same tone, wherever they're from in the world?
That's really interesting. We learnt that, was it sheep or something? sheep or cows moo in a different way in different countries.
Did we learn that on this?
Yeah, we learned that on this.
We
Yeah,
did too.
yeah.
I can't remember what the thing was. I can't remember.
We can't. Remember.
Crime. Are there any famous sketches? I'm surely on the comedy company we did a sketch where we
Done
both
a
in
baby.
nappies.
Um,
Mick Malloy. We could tell the Mick Malloy
Sumo
story.
wrestler.
Sumo wrestling. There's nothing you can do with sumo
Why
wrestling.
don't we? We love doing origin stories, don't we? Of how things were invented.
Well, it is what we do. We have what's the Smithsonian in Australia? The media library. They should take what we do on this show for history and to use it for teaching, because we go back in time and we recreate moments where things are invented. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're saying we should do one the moment they invented
Sumo wrestling. So it's two big guys in a Japanese inn.
Japanese inn,
They
yeah.
have inns and over there, they have inns.
Yep.
And anyway, they're obviously both pretty fat. Anyway, give us that music. Who
are you going to be?
I'll be.
Okay.
We'll just be average guys.
Average guys. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not me, am I?
No.
But I don't.
We're
I'm worried about
Japanese.
accents.
No, we're not going to do the accent, but we're Japanese.
Okay,
Big Japanese fat guys.
Okay, we're Japanese fat guys.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Ding.
Here we go.
Hey mate, how are ya?
Okay, Sue.
Oh, Mo. I had a bad day today.
What do you mean?
I got sacked.
So did I.
I work as a I'm normally a donut salesman, and they said I was too fat to be a donut. I was putting the people off. What did you get sacked from? What job were you doing?
Well, I was doing
a job where people can't be fat.
Yeah, take away Japanese food called sushi on the go.
Sushi on the go, but you weren't really on the go much.
No,
'cause you're so
I
fat.
wasn't fast enough.
And they started calling you sushi on the slow. Is that right? I heard that.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a coincidence. I'm just going to come here and I am going to drown my sorrows.
Some sake.
Some sake. So why we'll have some sake, which I love. What's your name, Sue?
Yeah, and you're Mo.
I'm Mo.
Why don't we get some sushi rolls?
Sushi rolls?
Yeah.
Some gyoza?
Gyoza?
Love gyoza.
Yeah.
How many bits of gyoza do you want?
25.
25. Okay, 25 gyoza. What else have we got? We got teriyaki chicken.
You love teriyaki chicken. Bring it all out. Some rice, some sticky rice.
Sticky rice.
Yeah.
Inari.
Inari, that's a Japanese battery dish.
Oh yeah. And what about the one where they put the batter on the?
What about some whale? You want some whale? They got it under the counter.
Love whale
For experiments.
Hey, just give him a wink.
Yeah. Can we have some whale?
Yeah.
Can we have some whale, Kenny?
Thanks, Kenny.
Thanks, Kenny.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Ooh, look at that food.
Look, here it all is.
Hey, cheers to our future with no jobs. Cheers.
To do. I don't know what we're going to do with our future.
What's a job that two fat guys can do?
Help
mate, go easy on the Inari. I want one of them.
Yeah, all right.
They don't eat too fast.
I reckon we can.
I'm sorry.
I reckon we could help people move house, by the way. Let's get one of those. How many of those?
Yeah, all right.
There are three left. How many of those? Okay, and one.
Don't have the calamari sushi rolls. They were for me.
And I'm just going to have that last bit of gyoza. Is that?
Hey, that's my gyoza. Give it
how
back.
many bits of gyoza did you have?
I only had 2. How many have you had?
12.
Oh, that's it.
What?
Give it to me, you fiend.
What do you,
God, don't wrestle with me.
I'll hit you.
God.
Stop.
You know what? Don't get... Why are you ripping my clothes off?
I am ripping your clothes
I'm
off.
going to rip your clothes off.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God, we're down to our undies. Mate, you've got a G-string on. That's
No, I'm
disturbing.
embarrassed about it.
Oh, my God, the crowd has gathered. They're cheering us on.
Hang on. They're loving what we're doing. Let's keep on doing it.
Okay.
Keep on doing it.
Wrestle.
We're
both in the nude, except the
both in the
undies
nude.
and the G-string.
There's food everywhere.
Now they're throwing money at us.
This is fantastic. Hang on. I'm going to sit on your head. Hang on.
Oh, no, don't do that move. Oh, gee. Now they're cheering.
They're loving it.
This could be our new career. What are we going to call it?
Name it after us.
Okay.
It's special. It's called special wrestling.
Okay, so it'll be Mosu.
No.
Do the other way.
Sumo.
Sumo!
Call it Sumo, and it's come here next. Listen, everybody. Next Thursday night, come and see Sumo Wrestling You pay at the door, and we'll put a show on just like we have tonight. And now let's just both take a bow. Take a bow.
Okay. Oh, they're throwing gyoza at us. Thank God.
Oh dear.
God. Oh boy.
3 fart jokes. I apologize.
Incredible.
Nothing.
What an
No
origin story.
disrespect if you are a sumo wrestler.
I don't think they're
I'm not
listening.
suggesting that they fart on each other's heads. But those guys, Moo and So and Moo,
Sue and Mo,
Sue and Mo,
legends. All right. Well, what's the answer? I'm going to say crying babies. Maybe sumo wrestlers use the sound of crying babies as a tactic. Yeah.
how do you mean they use it as a tactic?
I don't know. They pretend to be a baby.
Oh, they make that noise.
Yeah.
And they know that it'll throw them off their game.
cat.
I'm going to say, because I reckon I know this, that if a sumo wrestler can make a baby cry, it's deemed that that baby will have a good, healthy life.
Oh, God, that's a superstition.
Yeah.
All right, Sam, what is the answer?
In the Nakazumo festival, held throughout Japan, sumo wrestlers hold babies and make weird noises and faces in an attempt to make infants cry. The baby who cries first is the victor. According to Japanese folklore, a crying baby has the power to ward off evil spirits, while a strong, loud cry indicates the child will grow up strong and healthy.
Oh, wow, there you go. It's a tradition. I didn't know
Well,
that.
it's a bit like, what's confirmation in church when you...
Oh, baptism too.
Baptism,
They
it's a bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah, they put water on the baby's head. Yeah.
You have been listening to Somehow Related with Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
And it's, I guess they hold the baby, and it's that'd be because.
Do they do circumcision at the same time?
Well, why would you? The only problem was you want to get the babies young because if
Yeah.
if you do it, they're a bit old. They wouldn't be able to lift them up. I mean, if they'd grown into like a 15-year-old or
Yes.
something, But there you go, and it would be ironic that a big baby is hanging on to a little baby.
Yeah, it'd be a good photo.
What if they do it within the G-string? If they do it in a
Yeah.
kimono or something?
They probably do. They probably do. Well, you learn so much on this show.
I know. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. So, what if you had a baby in Australia? Would it be stupid? Jump on a plane, go to Japan,
Oh, yeah, good idea.
take
the baby along.
take all the kids,
Yeah.
and go. When's the next sumo good luck party? Turn up, give the baby a jiggle, and give them a happy life.
Maybe someone here could just start doing it, like a different subgroup.
Do it here.
Well, like Hell's Angels, or you know
that's
what I
a good
mean,
idea.
or Freemasons. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
like rename it. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
If a Freemason can make you overcry, happy life.
Yeah. AFL footballers. I don't know.
That's a fantastic idea.
Strippers. I don't know.
Ex-politicians.
Yes.
Yeah. Game show hosts.
Prisoners. Anyone.
Yeah, prisoners would be good because
There's a market there for this kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I
think
that's
we're onto something.
I reckon if you hear that come out, but you heard it first here.
Old comedians. We could do it.
Oh, yeah.
I love babies.
Sorry about the fart jokes in there.
Oh, no.